Shadowy figures, ghostly faces, and chilling encounters. You were never meant to witness. These are the supernatural encounters that will haunt you forever. This guy was asleep on his couch when a sudden bang echoed through the house. He shot awake, confused, looking around for an explanation. Nothing seemed out of place, but the cameras told a different story. The door creaked open slowly, deliberately, like someone wanted him awake. Whatever it was, it made sure he knew he wasn't alone. Neighbor gets taken. A tenant's doorbell camera captured something so bizarre, it doesn't even look real. In the footage, their neighbor can be seen standing outside, until suddenly, her body begins to rise off the ground. She wasn't jumping, she wasn't climbing, she was levitating, as if some unseen force was pulling her away. She tried to hold on to whatever she could, but that didn't seem to help. It did allow her to stay inside the building. Otherwise, her whole posture looked like she was trapped in a trance. The way she floated upward felt unnatural, like something dark and powerful had taken hold of her. The camera caught every second of it, and by the time she slowly drifted back down, the neighbor who filmed it knew this wasn't something they could just shrug off. Scariest possession ever. What began as a normal day in class turned into one of the most alarming possessions ever caught on camera. A girl suddenly began rising upward, pulled by an invisible force. Her classmates and teacher rushed to grab her, but no matter how hard they pulled, they couldn't bring her back down. The struggle went on for several tense minutes until the force suddenly released her. She collapsed in exhaustion, leaving the entire classroom shaken. Whatever tried to take her that day, it was powerful enough to hold off a room full of people. Vanishing woman. A woman fast asleep had no idea what the cameras were about to capture. Out of nowhere, a dark figure appeared in her room, grabbed her, and dragged her straight out the door. The door slammed shut behind them. And here's the chilling part. No one ever heard from her again. That footage is the only trace left of what happened inside that house. What do you think happened in that house? Share your theories in the comments below. Scary footage. Don't watch this one alone. A man heard strange noises inside his home and thought an animal had gotten in. But as he investigated, he discovered something far worse. In the bathroom, a hunched figure was caught on camera, its eyes glowing in the dark. The longer he looked, the more unsettling it became. Its body was unusually thin, and it had no ears or mouth at all. Whatever this was, it wasn't human. Shaken, the man contacted the police, but no explanation has ever been given for what his camera recorded. Eerie footage. This eerie TikTok from Nightmare Fuel has people seriously unsettled. In the clip, a woman's hair is suddenly yanked back, and if you look closely, you'll spot it. A dark, shadowy figure lurking in the window just before it happens. But the detail that really shook viewers came later in the comments. Someone claimed to know her and said her mother-in-law had recently passed away. Some believe it's a ghost making its presence felt. Others argue it's just a prank or clever edit. Still, whatever the truth is, there's something about this clip that just doesn't feel right. Kitchen disturbance. The woman was relaxing, listening to music, when faint, unsettling noises came from her kitchen.
Listening to music, I was on the laptop, and we're hearing something in the kitchen.
Her dog immediately reacted, darting around nervously, as if sensing something invisible.
Holy holy.
Curious, she walked toward the kitchen and looked around, but no one was there. She softly called out, "Hello," and that's when it happened. The cabinets suddenly flew open and slammed shut on their own. Terrified, she checked inside, only to find nothing. She quickly closed the cabinets and ran back into her room. It was then she understood her dog's behavior.
Hello?
Animals sense things far before we do. Whatever was in that kitchen wasn't human, at least, not anymore. Haunted house. This man was troubled by paranormal activities that were regularly happening in his home, so he started praying every night before going to bed for protection. But tonight, something powerful was there. He continued his prayer when books started falling from his shelf, getting his mind off of his ritual. And he got distracted, which was a mistake, because this powerful demon moved the entire drawer and shut his bedroom door. Graveyard haunting. A woman named Britt lived through a month of pure terror inside her own home. It started small, but soon became impossible to ignore. Her dog, Josie, would constantly stare at the closet, frozen, as if something was inside.
Like what? What is it?
Then, Britt noticed Josie acting the same way toward the family graveyard in the front yard, where her grandparents and even their cats were buried. And oddly, Josie wasn't the only animal drawn to that spot. One night, things escalated. After a food delivery, Britt felt her shirt being yanked hard by an invisible force.
They're actually not mine. Everyone wasn't showing up.
See, this is what I'm talking about. Are you for real right now?
Shaken, Britt abandoned her home and slept in her van until her family returned from vacation. With a closet her dog feared, a graveyard that seemed cursed, and terrifying evidence caught on camera, Britt became convinced something dark was tied to that land. Ouija consequences. What started as a couple messing around with a Ouija board quickly turned into a nightmare. Soon after, strange things began happening inside their home. One night, while they slept, their Google device suddenly went haywire.
A deliberate attempt to contact the spirit of a deceased person is known as a seance. Want to try it?
Moments later, the dog began barking non-stop at the basement. The man went to check, and that's when it happened.
Hello? Oh my god!
Those footsteps. Did you hear them?
Oh my god!
Terrified, he pushed himself to go deeper into the basement. But that wasn't all. He later heard people whispering, voices echoing through the house. Yet when he went outside to check, no one was there. After everything, one thing was clear. The Ouija board hadn't been a simple game. It had opened a door, and whatever stepped through was now inside their home. Haunted Russian apartment. For 3 years, a man named Alexander lived in his Russian apartment with no problems. But then, everything changed. For a month straight, he began experiencing terrifying events, loud knocks in the night, objects moving on their own, and even one night when something grabbed his wrist. The activity grew worse each day. Before moving out, Alexander wanted proof of what he was dealing with, so he set up cameras. What he captured was shocking.
Я сразу же вскочил, включил свет. Это не может не напугать. Просто знакомый звук. Изредка я услышал, похож.
Strange events happened even when he wasn't home. Hoping for clearer evidence, Alexander set the camera again, this time with the lights on. But nothing could prepare him for what came next.
Я смотрю, у нас сегодня рыбный день. Что там осталось? Ну, что могу сказать? Блядь.
Did you catch it? Right behind him, a pair of legs appeared. No torso, no face. Just disembodied legs that vanished the second he noticed them. Some believe this was the spirit of a former resident, returning to reclaim the apartment. But one thing's certain. After that night, Alexander didn't stay another second. He left the apartment for good. Graveyard figures. Exploring a graveyard at night is already unsettling, but one YouTuber decided to take that risk. At first, he noticed what looked like a single shadowy figure moving among the graves. It resembled a human spirit, and seeing it shifted his beliefs about the supernatural right away. But that was only the start.
They just turned off all the lights for some reason.
Soon, more figures appeared one by one, surrounding the area. He stayed as quiet as possible, observing them without being noticed. Realizing things were escalating, he slipped out before it was too late. In a place like this, bravery can quickly turn into danger.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Manhole creature. In an alleyway in Hollywood, someone stumbled across a strange manhole cover marked with odd symbols. Curious, they lifted it open, only to be met with something completely unexpected. From the darkness below, a creature suddenly lunged upward, giving them the fright of their life. They stumbled back, shaking, before quickly fleeing the scene. The markings on the lid itself made things even creepier, with one design resembling the head of Baphomet. Whether it was a prank, an animal, or something far stranger, no one has been able to explain it. Hair inside grave. A group of friends were exploring a graveyard, and while scanning the graves with a flashlight, one sight made them freeze. Long black strands of hair were spilling out of the soil, sliding eerily across the surface. As they stepped closer, the hair slowly slipped back into the ground and vanished. Their fear spiked when they noticed the empty grave right beside it. Making them realize they hadn't just seen a trick of the light, but something trying to claw its way out.
Ah, meu Deus do céu.
School Jinn. Anas Aboud, known for exploring abandoned places, ventured into an old school rumored to be haunted. He and his friends made their way through the dark halls until they reached the playground. That's when they spotted something chilling, a figure standing completely still, staring at them. Locals later claimed the school had been tied to a jinn, allegedly used by the principal to gain power. The story goes that he passed under mysterious circumstances just months before the school shut down. What Anas filmed that night may have been tied to that very legend. Voodoo on subway. In the middle of a crowded subway, a woman was caught doing something deeply unsettling. Hidden in her hands was what looked like a voodoo doll, and she kept driving a needle into it over and over. She didn't even try to conceal it, and the camera caught everything. She didn't care about the people around her, and no one knew who the doll was meant to represent. But the sight of someone performing such a ritual in public sent shivers down the spines of those who saw it. Some say she was casting a dark spell, others believe she was under a spell herself. But either way, the footage left behind more questions than answers. Faceless passenger. In India, a bus driver was wrapping up his shift late at night when he noticed a lone passenger seated quietly in the back. Something about her made him uneasy, so he called out and asked to see her face. When she finally turned, his blood ran cold. There was no face, just darkness where her features should have been. The terrified driver stopped the bus and called the police, but when they arrived, the passenger was gone. She was never seen in the area again. Haunted doll. One man claimed he ordered a doll from the dark web that came with an unsettling presence. At first, it seemed harmless, but then he noticed its head would move, as though watching him wherever he went. Trying to dismiss it, he turned on the lights and picked it up. That's when things got stranger. A stack of files on his table suddenly toppled over on their own. From that moment, he was convinced this wasn't just a doll, but something far more aware, and it was keeping its eyes on him. Paranormal activity caught. In this ghostly clip, a grandmother was celebrating her birthday, with her entire family filing the event and singing the song. For the first couple of seconds, everything was normal, but then a dark, small shadow ran past her. This ghostly figure ran from the right side, where there were family members, and in a split second, vanished behind the grandmother. No one reacted to it when it happened, which proves it was only caught on camera. Office chairs moving. Late one night, CCTV cameras inside an empty office recorded something chilling. At first, a single chair shifted across the floor with no one around. Then, one by one, more chairs began to move on their own. The footage makes it look as though something unseen was deliberately rearranging the furniture. Whatever it wasn't stopping until everything was disturbed. Some now believe this office was abandoned because of repeated events like this, making it less a workplace and more a haunting ground. Abandoned house. Visitors often spoke about hearing children crying inside this abandoned home, and one man decided to see for himself. That turned out to be his biggest mistake. Only a few minutes in, he began to hear it too.
صوت أطفال ولا لا؟
Soft cries echoing through the halls. At first, he brushed it off, but when footsteps creaked above him, the mood shifted. He looked up, and there it was, a dark, unrecognizable shape peeking out from the doorway. The entity never fully revealed itself, but that glimpse was enough. Shaken to his core, he rushed out of the house, knowing he had seen something he was never meant to. Haunted basement. The man filming this was hired to remodel an empty house, but it didn't stay quiet for long. Strange noises echoed through the rooms, and he went looking for the source.
Hello?
When he reached the basement, he called out into the darkness below, and that's when things turned terrifying.
Who is it?
The lights began to flicker violently, as if something down there was answering him. The shock was so intense that he dropped his phone and ran. He later admitted he would never step foot inside that house again. And after seeing this footage, it's not hard to understand why. Sinister doppelgangers. This chilling encounter took place in Pakistan, when a team of paranormal investigators entered an abandoned building, rumored to be haunted by something far darker than a regular spirit. Locals claimed the entity inside could mimic the form of anyone who dared to step in. As the team approached, a disturbing sound echoed through the building.
इधर क्या हुआ? वो इधर लेफ्ट साइड से कोई चीज क्या देखा है यार? वो इतनी कोई चीज खड़ी काली जी.
Then, a shadowy figure appeared. Terrified but determined, the investigators pushed further inside, and that's when the haunting escalated. Instead of one shadow, they were met with something far worse. Perfect copies of themselves. The sight left them shaken to the core. Imagine walking into a place only to find your own doubles waiting in the darkness. That's exactly what happened here, and it's one of the most terrifying cases ever recorded. Mysterious road encounter. A dashcam captured a chilling scene on a 3-lane road late at night. Without warning, a young woman appeared in the middle of the roadway, blocking the driver's path. She wouldn't move, standing firm as if demanding he stop. At first, the driver thought it was some kind of trap, or maybe a stranger that needed help. But the way she stayed there, her posture, the way she was acting, made him suspect something far darker. Fearing what he might be walking into, the driver chose not to engage and sped away. That decision may have saved him from a night he'd never return from. Ghost at the door. Cameras often reveal things we can't see with our own eyes, and this surveillance footage from Argentina proves it. Around 2:30 a.m., the faint figure of a semi-transparent woman appeared at the entrance of a store. The strange part, the owner, who was there in person, didn't see anyone.
Años que trabajo de noche, nunca vi algo como esto. Estoy todos los días sentado ahí, 12 horas.
Startled, he grabbed his phone and filmed the same spot, but nothing showed up. In all his years of running the store, he said he had never experienced anything like it, leaving him to wonder what had really come to visit that night. Cemetery Girl. One evening in Arizona, a man filming from his balcony caught something that still unsettles viewers today. Across the street in a cemetery, a barefoot girl dressed in white wandered between the graves. He and a friend called out, but she never looked up, never slowed down.
But you be watching a ghost. Don't say that to her. Don't say that to her. I'm scared as shit.
Just drifted deeper into the darkness. Then, without warning, she was gone. Locals later said the description fit a young girl from the area who was never given a proper burial, leading many to believe her spirit is still wandering, searching for the peace she never found.
She ain't look at us.
You're going the whole way! You scaring me! You really scaring me! You scaring the out of me!
Backyard intruder. A homeowner kept receiving ring notifications late at night, each time showing someone outside. When he finally checked, he was stunned. An eerie figure dressed in white was drifting through his backyard. When he shared the clip online, he admitted he thought it could be the spirit of his late wife, but others weren't so sure. To many, the strange shape and movement looked more like a Fresno crawler, one of the strangest cryptids ever caught on camera. Whatever it was, it left the man with more questions than answers. Bathroom lurker. He had just gotten home when a strange feeling hit him, like someone was standing way too close. Then came the whisper, soft but clear.
Jesus Christ.
Leave now. Nervously searching the house, he spotted something that froze him. A blurry shadow figure hiding behind the bathroom curtain.
Jesus.
What should have been a quiet night turned into one of the scariest encounters he'll never forget.
Nope.
Apartment apparition. Late one night, mysterious footage was taken outside an apartment complex. On the first floor, a shadowy figure darts across the frame. Strangely, there's a man standing below, yet he doesn't react at all. No sound, no movement. Nothing to suggest anyone had passed. What makes this even harder to dismiss is that the man filming it was recording straight from his camera, showing the clip hadn't been tampered with. If that's the case, then it looks like this building may have its very own ghost. Guadalajara Mystery. At the Museo Palacio Ocampo in Guadalajara, Mexico, a visitor captured something truly unsettling. The museum is known for its darker exhibits, and one of them features a wax figure of Maria Sabina, the legendary shaman remembered for her use of mushrooms in spiritual rituals. The figure sat quietly in a corner, posed as part of the display, while her story played out behind her. But then, the visitor noticed something he couldn't believe. The statue's head slowly turned toward him, as if it were alive.
Oh, hell no. That's crazy.
There were no wires, no motors, no reason for it to move on its own. Some believe it was more than just wax, that maybe the energy of the place allowed Maria Sabina's spirit to make herself known through her likeness. Was this just an illusion, or did the shaman truly return for a brief moment? Comment your thoughts below. Haunted bathroom. In South Korea, a hotel guest was practicing a speech in front of the bathroom mirror, filming himself for rehearsal, but his footage revealed far more than just his reflection. In one of the smaller mirrors beside him, a ghostly figure appeared. Its face unnaturally pale, its head veiled, watching silently from just inches away. The guest hadn't noticed it at the time, only realizing later when he reviewed the recording. Disturbed,